Hello guys and welcome to this week's track guide. We are at the Nurburgring in a Ferrari, quite close to LFM conditions and with a 52.8. So we are in this beautifully sounding red machinery, which might be quite good for this track, most likely because it has some solid brakes, but also good traction. So you might know Nurburgring as a not really grippy track, but we can work against this with a bit higher TC settings and a bit of throttle management. Before getting there, we want to brake for turn 1 around the end of that kink, a bit before 100 meters. Brake down to first gear and steer around a bit before the real corner entry. It is off-cambered, so you want to have the slingshot effect out of here, which you get best by going as close to the bollard as possible, not hitting the grass and not hitting the bollard, but going as close as you can to hit the throttle early enough, you see, full throttle while facing the barrier, to swing it around, and then we get already to the second turn. This one is quite tricky because it is not really grippy. You can take it in second gear with most cars. Some cars require third, for example the McLaren, who doesn't have a lot of grip in second gear. But the Ferrari, for example, is a car that does not need to be short shifted, so you can stay in second gear, steer at the end of the bricks at the side. This you want to brake, stop throttling at the end, and then throttle out as clean as you can. So stay in second. With some cars you want to go to third here and then get out there. For the next, we want to brake around when you can't see the emergency lane anymore from the cars inside. There is a crane on the right that can also be used as a marker to start braking. So you are here and full throttle, the crane is gone, and then you can orientate yourself on the left to have a good braking point. Use the engine brake, that is really important. We want to use the engine brake and go over this one, over the curb on the inside. But not too much, it is invalidated in no time, but we want to take a little bit of it to get a good run to the left. Stay to the left as far as you can and then smash it to the right. I smashed a little too hard, so the rear stepped out and I got a bit of an oversteer. That cost some time, but that curb on the inside is really usable with all cars. We want to take it and then have a good run to the left outside. Shifting up to fourth gear on that straight, and now we once again in an engine braking situation. Most cars can stay in third. Ferrari is a bit better, I think, in second. So I revved the hell out of that thing to get a good run early new acceleration. So first lose it, stay a little bit on the brake for rotation and then throttle out. To get a good entrance here, we want to not go to the left as far, like we do not want to have a big entry or something, we just want to have a quite short line, so we want to travel less way, so to speak. That means we are early on the throttle, you see, fully, and then trying to make it stick with as much throttle application as somehow possible. So first gear, short shift to second because grip is not quite there, and then you are out of this. After this you then go towards the hairpin. You need to brake a bit between the beginning of that curb and the beginning of that curb. You want to brake around in the middle and then shift it down to second. In some cars, first in the Ferrari, have a V-shaped corner. That means we are not staying on the shortest line here. opposite to the corner we just went into. But we want to get out a little wider and then hit the throttle early enough to have a good exit. So let's watch this one from the top. So we brake in the middle, go out a little bit, we get distance to the apex and then we send it out again. That is quite complicated to hit, but it's, on the other hand, really worth it to have a good run out of here, that you can take most speed possible through the Schumacher S. For this, we go to the curb on the right. We stay on the throttle and go to the left, a little lift, and then over that curb again. So this one we want to miss, and this one we want to hit with as much throttle as possible. For this corner, we want to brake a bit before 100. Second gear once again. You can take the AstroTurf on the inside. I missed it a little, but you can for sure go over it. It's not super fast, but can give you a bit of rotation if needed, so that is quite beneficial. But it worked out just as well like this. You can then go to the left here and use the brake for rotation and then start using the throttle for rotation and send it out. Let's watch that corners in a flowing motion again. So we get to the Schumacher S. On the curb, miss that curb, throttle, hit that curb, and then you can go into that, that's not important. Then brake before 100, go onto the curb on the left if possible, and then smash it down to second gear, hit the throttle as early as possible and get out of that corner again. This Advan-Bogen is of course full throttle. And now we get into the likely hardest one. We want to brake a bit before the 50 sign, like 70 meters maybe. Get down to third gear. You can then roll and hit a little bit of throttle to just slice this one. Not a lot, don't take it too much, especially with front engine cars. Don't do it. Do yourself a favor and try to miss it. But like this, we can get as close as possible, full throttle again, over the curb on the right and send it out. Just don't have any heart for the suspension, just go for it, just send it. So we will watch it in real time. We get to the right, brake a bit before the 50 board, over, and onto it. And then we brake a bit before the turning point, so after the pit entrance line, we just try to search for some point you can remember. There's no real braking board or indication, so just try to find a good point that brings you close to the apex that you can stick around. So you want to go onto the left curb, brake, and then hit the throttle again, bringing us into the target with a 1:52.837, I believe.